So, new toolbox is getting delivered today. Well, I have to go pick it up, but it came in about 3 weeks early. So I was not prepared for it. I have a lot that I need to clean up in here because it's going up against this wall. But gonna go get my propane heater, get that in here. That's why the door's cracked. I'll blast that in here to take the chill off because it's about 6 degrees outside. Get this all cleaned up and get the new toolbox in here. Gonna be a cold one. We've also gotten a ton of snow. The cab needs to get moved because I need to get the chassis out of the garage. So, cab, gonna go over here, roll the chassis out, toolbox in, and then everything can go back to where it was. Garage is still an absolute nightmare and looks like a bomb went off. First Gen's out of here though. That's out in the driveway for the time being. And the new toolbox is in. So, still have to get this thing all set up. This is actually only the second time I opened this up. So, got a few little storage pieces here, screwdriver holder, little tray, rubber mat that'll go down on the top here. And this is the 72-inch top hutch with obviously the 72-inch bottom box. So I do have some leftover foam from my old toolbox when I organized that all up. So I'm going to use that in here, probably have to get some more, but I don't know. I don't know how I want to organize this yet. But going to get to it, and then I'll show you guys once it's all finished up. Nice rubber mat. Just have to let that get settled because it was all bunched up in here. Screwdriver holder, bin. It's a nice little touch with the keys on a red string. That red and white just looks good. Did not know all the drawers already had rubber mats in them. That's kind of nice. Nice little touch. I've also never bought a new toolbox before, so this is kind of cool. It's a first for me. Other things I didn't know. There is a handle that will go on the side of the box if you so choose to do so. I probably won't be doing that. And the drawer above it already has a power cord in it, which is pretty cool. So I got to figure out where the plug is and get this plugged into the wall. It's got like 5 ports on there and then USB-C and a regular USB on there. All right, found the power cord, and then a few things I picked up for it that I thought would come in handy. Of course, paint match to the toolbox. Little glove dispenser holder, that was like $10. Paper towel roll holder, also like $7. I got this, this power strip here, not knowing it already came with one. And then I got a 2-pack of magnetic screwdriver holders. New toolbox is kind of set up. Sockets and ratchets and everything. And we got wrenches, power tools. Everything's pretty much organized. Cleaned up quite a bit in here. Still have some stuff I got to figure out where it's going to go until it's back on the first gen. It's a lot of first gen parts. But going to get the truck back in here, get it out from the cold and the weather outside, and keep organizing. Not much going on today, and I've had a different intake horn kind of just sitting around. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this off and mount the new one. Like I said, not really a whole lot going on. So it's freezing cold outside. There's about a foot of snow. Might as well put this on. See how it looks. Also took off everything else from the grid heater, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that as well. Got these 4 bolts loosened up. Take this clamp off and that should pop right off. This thing is nearly welded on here. There it goes. Alright, off camera I broke it loose. Get that out of there. It is awfully dirty in here. So I'm going to get that cleaned up, vacuumed out. Best I can anyway. And put the new one on. Got that all cleaned up and the new gasket on. Go ahead and get this lined up and throw some bolts in it. Kind of give you an idea there, I do have to get some shorter bolts because I'm not putting the grid heater back on. And these are to accommodate that. So get some shorter bolts. I'll actually finish mounting this up. But give you an idea on what it's going to look like. Obviously this, I'm going to move that elsewhere. Not move it, but mount it somewhere. Maybe here. I don't know. Alright, so loosely had this intake horn on here. Just because these bolts are a little bit long since I took away the grid heater. But just got some new ones in from wherever I usually get these stainless bolts from. Bolt Depot. So a little bit shorter and stainless. So they'll stay nice and shiny on here. Take this back off and get these swapped out. Also got new shocks for all 4 corners of the truck. So currently don't have any on the front and have the old ones on the rear back there. So gonna get those ones swapped out and get new ones put up front. A little bit of blue Loctite on all 4 bolts and then torque these down to 18 foot-pounds. And then the stainless bolts I got from Bolt Depot, 8 mil by 1.25, 35 millimeters long. These should fit perfect in here. You do want to make sure that you tighten these down all evenly. And done. As far as the shocks go, the front I can't do because I guess at one point when I took this apart, I misplaced the nuts for the bottom of the front shocks. But the rears I can get done. So I'll get these old ones taken off and pop the new ones in. Put on these top ones because they're not tight. One down, one to go. There's two. Go ahead and grab the new ones and get those popped in. All right, so new shock here. Get this taken out. So here's the top. There's the bottom. Gonna go ahead and get these on. So I'm not exactly sure how springy this is gonna be when I cut it. Uneventful. I'll get this compressed down and got the bolt ready. Get this in there. And there's one done. Just gotta get it torqued down. But I'll go ahead and get that other side done. Torque them and call it a day. On the rear shocks, I am not 100% certain, but I believe it is 60 foot-pounds on all the nuts and bolts. So, gonna do a little bit of blue Loctite, get them torqued down to 60 foot-pounds. That'll do it for today's video. See you in the next one.